throughout the course of the afternoon. Joining us now for more on the Democratic race is Jason Johnson, politics editor at The Root, and David Mortosco, U.S. political editor at thedailymail.com. Gentlemen, thank you both there for joining us. Jason, let me start with you if I can. Much has been made about the Democrats, particularly the growing division among the party, and Bernie Sanders was asked on Meet the Press earlier whether he had a responsibility to unite his supporters if he doesn't win. Take a listen to how he responded to that question.
But at the end of the day, whether it's Secretary Clinton or Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump or anybody else, the way you gain support is through the candidate himself or herself. So my job is to make sure that Trump does not become president, and I will do that. But it is if Secretary Clinton is the nominee, it is her job to reach out to millions of people and make the case.
But you just said you want to do whatever it takes to stop him. You don't believe you need to be out there telling your supporters you may not be happy with Hillary Clinton, but she's better than him.
Well, no question about that. No question about that.
So is that really just Hillary's responsibility, you think, Jason? And what role should Sanders play in trying to unite the party come November?
I mean, here's the thing. Nobody has a responsibility to do anything but try and win the race right now. And I've been very, very critical on The Root and other places about Bernie Sanders and a lot of his behavior. But as of right now, he has every right to continue to compete all the way up until the convention. And at that point, when Hillary Clinton is officially made the nominee, even though officially she's been there this week, then yes, he has an obligation, if he wants to work against Trump. But here's something else to remember, and I think a lot of Democrats have forgotten this, a lot of analysts don't pay attention to this. Bernie Sanders became a Democrat like 15 minutes ago. He has no real loyalty to this party. So I think his ability or even desire to really help defeat Donald Trump can really be held into question, and we won't know until after the convention in Philadelphia.
But he's definitely had a profound impact on the Democratic Party in the short time he's run, though, right?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely had a huge impact. He's brought a lot of enthusiasm, certainly a lot more enthusiasm than Hillary Clinton has. Right. He's moved the issues to the left, so he does have an impact.
And David, let me talk to you a little bit about, ask you about part of Sanders' plan for the victory. Obviously, he's been focusing a lot on the issue of superdelegates, even with the math stacked against him. Here's what he told NBC's Chris Jansing on Saturday about how he plans to do that.
You guys came on board Clinton's campaign before I was even in the race. Take a look at reality today. Take a look at all of the national polls, all of the state polls. We are doing better against Trump than is Secretary Clinton. Give that some thought. And then we're going to also say to those states where we won landslide victories, we're going to say to the superdelegates, you know what? Why don't you vote with the people of your state? And we think adding all that together, we got a shot to get the nomination.
If you don't win California, will you drop out?
Well, let's not get into speculation. I think we are going to win California.
So Sanders has to win 67% of the remaining pledged delegates. We were talking about that math earlier. Ultimately, at this point, what does Sanders want, you think?
Well, I think Sanders really wants to enter the convention in Philadelphia with a majority of the pledged delegates. And there's an outside chance he could do that. If he does that, then he can make the case, the moral persuasion case, that, look, I've actually won the nomination here if it weren't for these superdelegates, the kind of thing that Trump has been talking about that rigs the system against him. The way I tend to look at this is like a baseball game. Look, Hillary Clinton managed to score 10 runs in the first, 10 runs in the second, 10 runs in the third inning. But since then, Bernie Sanders has been outscoring her in the more recent innings. He's still a little bit behind, but he's got all the momentum. The question is, will he run out of innings before he runs out of chances to make up ground? And if it weren't for those superdelegates, frankly, we'd be talking about the kind of nail-biting, contested convention that everyone was all transfixed over on the Republicans a few months ago. The irony is now Donald Trump sewed up his end of the deal, and it's Bernie and Hillary who are still fighting.
All right, gentlemen, I'm sorry we're going to have to leave it at that. We're running a little bit out of time. Jason Johnson and David Mortosco, thank you very much for being with us this Memorial Day weekend.